big for the foundation is your upcoming 30th year. And I know probably things are
Right.
still early in the process, but you can either share what you want in terms of things that can be public at this time, or otherwise we can post it another time.
Yeah, well, there's a few ideas that are being kicked around at the moment, and one of them is, again, Confederation Bridge. They're thinking that we had 14,000 at the run in '05, and they are pretty sure that they're going to triple that number. That event itself was unbelievable when I went to it, and I'm really hoping I can go next year to it as well. But we have another thing that's sort of in the works is there's a band here in Canada called Sam Roberts. I'm not sure how many people are familiar with Sam Roberts' band, but they're out of Montreal, and their drummer Josh Traeger is the biggest self-proclaimed Terry Fox stalker, as he says, ever. And he's got this idea of doing like a Terry Fox Rocks benefit concert in July. And it's an idea right now. Everything's sort of up in the air, but hopefully, like, keep your ears open. That will happen. It's super exciting. How we got to know him was one of our summer students had been at a concert, I think, and saw that he was wearing this Terry Fox Rocks T-shirt, and every performance he does, he wears a Terry Fox Rocks T-shirt. And so somebody just, I think, went on their website or Facebooked him or something, and they found he said, yeah, like he's the biggest fan, and we've all met him now at different times. And you know what? If we can't even get anything wrong about Terry, like if we say a fact wrong, he'll very quickly correct us.
That's amazing.
He was just a huge fan. On the Junos, they won the Best Canadian Rock Band or something at the Junos, and it was the cutest thing because they had to, when they're doing their performance, they all had to be in black and white because, I don't know, for whatever reason. So you could see that he was wearing the T-shirt underneath his button-up shirt. But then when they got their names called up, he was walking up to the front, and he was trying to hold his shirt open. Like, you can see it right on the TV. He's trying to hold his shirt open so everybody can see the Terry Fox Rocks shirt. But it was pretty awesome. He's great advertising for us. So hopefully that'll happen. July 10th or 11th is the date that they're thinking. And other than that, that's sort of everything else is kind of preliminary at the moment, and just thoughts that are happening that I'm not really sure that I can give any more details. We like to keep things as surprises here in the foundation.
The surprises are good, and I'm sure everybody will look forward to the announcements that you have in the coming months ahead.
Yeah.
I think it's probably a good time, Judith. I think we're getting close to the end here, and maybe if there are a couple of questions, definitely would accept them at this time. Beforehand is probably also a good time to mention a couple things. One is if people are interested in donating for the Terry Fox Run, and correct me if I'm wrong, they can go to www.terryfox.org, and within that there's a location for donations that people can make online.
Absolutely. Yeah.
Great. The other thing to make note of is in New York, there's a Terry Fox Run coming up. I believe it's October 17th at 9:30, and that run will happen, I believe, in Central Park in Manhattan. And Judith, how long have those folks been doing a run for in New York?
Oh, that's a hard question. I think almost right from like 1991. I'm going to safely say that, the early 90s. And our organizer there, his name is Ken Ottenbright, and he is amazing. He's, if anybody wants to go or wants information, he is absolutely open to it. They actually have their own website. It's Terry Fox Run NYC, I think, New York City. If you Googled it, you'll find that they do have a website, and he has online donations there as well for his New York site, and the donations go straight to the Sloan Kettering.
Okay, great.
For the,
The other question I had for you is if people in different locations outside of Canada are interested in hosting or starting a Terry Fox run, just best to send you an email or call you?
Yeah, absolutely. And I mean, that's what we exist here for, is to support our international run organizers. You know, something that I have failed to say, and it's important for us to repeat it over and over again, is that you know, Terry had said in 1980 that he was one part of the Marathon of Hope, but that he could never have done what he did without the support of his team, Daryl, Doug, and then those that joined along the way. And the same rings true today for our, you know, our family gets credit for stuff that we're just, you know, I keep saying I just happened to be born into this family, and you know, we would not be the success, the foundation would not be the success it is today without the thousands and thousands of volunteers throughout the world now. It just wouldn't happen. So if anybody wants to at any time contact me about doing an event, I am all ears. I would love to support you in any way that I can. So absolutely.
Great, Judith. We've got a comment and a question here. Let me address the comment first, which seems real nice here. With regard to your comment on Canada Day, it was an honor to have you and your family on Parliament Hill last year, meaning 2008. I was the executive producer of the Noontime show, and one of the best moments for me was before the shows when we introduced the Fox family and talked about Terry and his van. The crowd went absolutely wild. It was a very emotional moment, and it showed us once again how loved Terry Fox is, and that he is truly a Canadian hero. And that's a thanks from Kim Macy's.
Oh, thank you, Kim. That's really touching and nice to hear. And that was, I am probably one of the biggest Canadian fans ever, and that was a very touching moment for us there too. And I don't know if we have time to tell a quick story about when we were on Parliament Hill, and it's sort of things that happen in our lives that paths are crossed, and you know, I think of Terry as like a master puppeteer. He's putting us all in different places for purposes at different times. And the night before Canada Day, we were getting Terry's van onto Parliament Hill where it was in front of the statue. And we had a few remarkable things happen. One of them was we went through, I can't remember what the market's called, I-word Market.
Okay.
I'm not sure, but the van went through there, and we all were walking beside it and behind it like we would have if Terry had been running, and we put our buckets out, and people were running out and putting money in it. And as we were going to getting closer up to the hill, two amazing things happened. One, this young girl my mom was sitting in the van, and this young girl was hanging out of the van, hugging her, and I had gone up to her and I said, you know, we're parking the van just, you know, up in front of Parliament Hill if you want to, you know, speak to Betty at that time. And she was just overwhelmed. She had the same cancer that Terry had and felt that she owed her life to him. And what we didn't know until later was that she did have an artificial leg, but on her real leg she had a portrait of Terry tattooed on her thigh.
Oh, wow.
That was absolutely amazing. And while she's showing our family, Paul Brandt had dedicated a song during the performance the next day to Terry. And we had no idea that at that particular moment that we were speaking to her and she was showing us this, that they did Terry's. He sang the song and they put Terry's photos up on the screens. And it was like at 9:30 or 10 o'clock the night before, and it was just like, how did that happen that we happened to be there? Because we were supposed to have the van up there earlier. We weren't even going to do the walk through this market or anything. And so it's just very, very, very touching and moving and memorable experience those couple of days for sure.
I can imagine. He just touched